Hi viewers, we are honored. Today's personality is a doctor. He completed his graduation from Rawalpindi. He has also completed his further training in London and Barts. One and only Dr. Ahsun Waqar Khan. Welcome in our show.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salam. Dr. Sahab, thank you very much for joining.
Thanks very much for inviting me. It's a great opportunity for me to be here, to be talking to you, as well as all your viewers, interact with your viewers. Thank you.
Dr. Ahsun, please tell us and our viewers about your childhood and your early days.
Okay. So I was born in Lahore. I was mainly brought up in Islamabad. Briefly, for 3 years, we also were in Karachi, virtue of my father's job. But my early childhood was after Lahore was Islamabad. So you can say I'm a product of Islamabad. I'm very proud of my upbringing in Islamabad. I did my metric from Islamabad College for Boys G63. At that time, it was considered a great institution. Then FSC from the same. After FSC, I went to Rawalpindi Medical College. Again, it was a great time. Obviously, youth is youth. Quite a few of our class fellows actually went to the same college. So we were a group of friends ending up in medical college. Again, it was very interesting days. So after graduating from Rawalpindi Medical College, I then worked in Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences. After completing my house job, of course, from Holy Family Hospital, I then worked in PIMS Hospital for 2 years, and that is where I started my training in anesthesia. That is where I decided that anesthesia is going to be my specialty, and that is where I started my training. In 2001, I reached the soils of UK. 2002 was my first job in Cardiff as a senior house officer, University Hospital of Wales. So I spent extremely memorable time in Cardiff. That was 4.5 years. And then for specialist training, which is the registrar training, I came to Barts and London School of Anesthesia, which again was a great opportunity for me. Barts and London School of Anesthesia at that time was considered as one of the best schools of anesthesia in the country, if not in Europe. It definitely was the busiest. Royal London Hospital at that time was the busiest trauma center in Europe, not just in London, not just in UK, the whole of Europe. After that, things did change, and it was further divided into sub-centers. There were other trauma centers opened up in London as well.
Dr. Ahsun, sorry for interruption, because when you did your FSC, because nowadays the standards of medical colleges, especially all over the world, has changed. So please tell us how difficult it was to reaching at that mark to gain an entry in the medical college, because I know it is a tough ask in those days.
Definitely. I think it is a tough ask even now. Probably, I would argue that these days it's even tougher, because some of the percentages that you come across, the people who are getting into medical colleges are phenomenal. Yes, in our days, it was tough. It wasn't easy. But I think the fact that I mentioned Islamabad College for Boys was a great institution at that time. And you'd be surprised to know that 36 out of the class of 36, 34 of us reached medical college. So that was the quality and standard of education that institution was imparting at that time, that if you are in there, then you're most likely going to reach where you want to reach when it comes to the professional colleges. And more or less the same was true for the engineering side as well. We had one pre-medical section, we had 3 engineering, and we had 1 art section. And most of these guys most of my class fellows have done reasonably well in that sense. So it was competitive, it was difficult, but in my opinion, these days it's even more competitive and even more difficult to get into a hospital-owned medical college.
The reason I mentioned that fact, because nowadays people can also gain the access to the private medical colleges as well. So going into on a merit system and getting to that level, and also getting a private education. So there are two routes now. So I think some students have facility on the base of private college. They can go to that level also.
That is true. That is true. That is why I particularly mentioned that to get into a hospital-based medical college, it is extremely competitive these days. Some of the percentages that you hear are colossal. You can't believe that they can be true. That children are getting so these kind of marks. So in that sense, yes, there's a route available, which is the private college, and the percentages or the requirements are slightly different from the hospital, from the government-based hospital as compared to the private-based hospitals and the medical colleges. But I would still say that it is very competitive to get into a medical college. That hasn't changed.
Islamabad colleges are also famous for the cricket. I remember H9 was one of the good cricket team. So please tell our viewers about your cricket team.
So I was not part of when I was in Islamabad College for Boys, I wasn't part of the college team. But cricket, I played a lot of cricket myself. I'm one of the extreme fanatics of cricket. I still, whenever I get any time, I would like to watch a match. Recent PSL as well, we went to the stadium, watched a bit of cricket here and there. Anyhow, so Rawalpindi Medical College, I played cricket all my 5 years, and I was the captain of the college in my final year. And we reached the semi-final stage. At that time, there used to be a Punjab University competition. So we reached the semi-final stage at that time. But when we were in third year, I think we were in third year when we won the championship, and I was part of that team as well. So, and then I played quite a lot of cricket in Cardiff. So when I went to Cardiff during my SHO days, and after my SHO days, there used to be, I used to have some time on my hand, and we used to play. I played a lot of cricket there. But when I couldn't continue that in London, it was very busy. Job was very busy. I couldn't find the team at the right time. By this time, I think I was probably over the hill as well. So yes, cricket stopped when I was in London. But prior to that, a lot of cricket. I played a lot of cricket. I love watching it. I still love watching it.
Please tell our journey in Shaukat Khanum, because you are working for the Shaukat Khanum, one of the best hospital in Pakistan, and especially from the charitable point of view. This is also not a hospital; it is a research center. Please share your journey with our viewers.
So I think this is a very interesting journey, and I think I'm glad that you brought it up. The word journey is very pertinent here, very important here. So I joined. So I finished my training in anesthesia in critical care 2013. So we had decided that we'll move back to Pakistan as soon as we finish our training. It was a bit controversial at that time. Most of my friends didn't agree with that decision, that I shouldn't leave UK at this time, at that point in time, and take up a consultant post and, well, live the rest of my life in UK. But we had decided, me and my missus had decided, that we will definitely go back to Pakistan once we had completed what we came for. Yes, it took us quite a lot of years. So I joined Shaukat Khanum because it offered me an opportunity to work in an environment where I could probably work with the same sort of provide the same sort of quality of care, as well as take care of patient safety issues in my day-to-day work. So Shaukat Khanum Lahore wasn't my city. Shaukat Khanum wasn't my hospital. I'd never worked there. But we thought of Shaukat Khanum from that point of view. So I came to Shaukat Khanum, gave an interview, and at that time, our medical director, Dr. Asim Yusuf, interviewed me, and he accepted me as part of the faculty. So that was late 2013. Administratively, I was given responsibility for the department fairly early on, and I absolutely loved it. So the journey started with out of love, if I could put it that way.
Any challenges you have faced, because working especially in hospital management, it is a tough ask, especially when we talk about the management, especially in South Asia, for the hospital job, it's a tough ask because you have to face a lot of challenges as well.
Definitely, there are challenges. Everyday life is full of challenges. And it's not just one single aspect that is challenging. It's multi-pronged. The clinical side of things, the non-clinical side of things, patient interaction, and then hospital employees, then factors that are not really in control, in the sense that whatever is happening outside the hospital still affects the hospital. If there's a traffic jam, there's a lockdown, still the hospital does get affected, but those are the factors that we can't control. And those also become part of the challenge. How do we provide quality care to our patients? How do we ensure patient safety in each and every aspect? So yes, these challenges are something that we face every day. And as part of the administration, this remains our responsibility to somehow find a way to negotiate amongst these challenges.
So how many patients you provide services every year? At the moment, there are 2 hospitals working, one in Peshawar, one in Lahore. So please share the number of patients you treat every year.
So Lahore Hospital was opened in 1994. And around 2014, in different phases, 3 phases, Peshawar Hospital was opened. So at the moment, there are 2 fully functional hospitals. One is Lahore, the other one is Peshawar. Peshawar is it's got its 3 phases now, phase-wise, but all 3 phases are now operational. At the moment, we look after 45,000 patients who come to our outpatient every year. And out of these 45,000, there are 12,000 patients who are new patients, who are new to the system, registered into the hospital. So every year, we introduce 12,000 new patients into our system. I can give you a few other numbers as well. For example, 15,000 inpatient admissions in 2021. We close to 19,000 surgical operations we performed in 2021. When it comes to chemotherapy, so we had 63,000 chemotherapy sessions in the last 1 year. And radiation oncology, so we had radiation, we still remain one of the largest radiation centers in the region, if not in the world. 77,000, close to 77,000 patients were provided radiation services in the last 1 year. So combined.
Sorry for interruption. What is the percentage? Because obviously you are providing these services to poor patients. And so what is the percentage of the patients you are providing this treatment and also the care?
So I'm glad that you've asked this question, because this is something that is extremely important. This is something that is asked by almost everybody who is even remotely interested in what Shaukat Khanum does. So we treat 75% of the patients for free. These are the supported patients. So once the patient is admitted into the system, once the patient is accepted as a registered patient in the hospital, then they are assessed for their financial viability. And on the basis of that, 75% of our treated patients are treated for free. So this is also our mission statement. The mission statement of the hospital, the first thing it has is that we will treat cancer, and regardless of their ability to pay. So 75% of the patients are treated for free.
And as well as the expense, it is one of the expensive care to afford, especially a country like Pakistan, where the hospital system has not made a lot of progress. So it's a great achievement. But at the same time, please share with our viewers that what are the basis of finances. So it is funded by the public and overseas Pakistani. So what are the main sources of the funding?
So again, that's a very good question. So we definitely work on donations. We provide services. So we provide pathology services. We provide diagnostic services. So we do charge for those services. So we generate revenue through those services. That is one part of our overall revenue generation. So the revenue generation out of the services that we provide, that is one part. Then there is zakat, and then there are donations. So what we have to understand is that revenue generation, the money that we generate through these services, They're also important to us because this is something that we utilize to expand our services. For example, if I want to buy an ultrasound, then I can't buy it from the zakat money that the people have given us. So that can only be bought from either the money that is being generated through these services that we provide, or if somebody has given a donation in kind. So there are three aspects to it. One is the money that we produce through the services that we provide. Number two is the zakat that people give us. And number three is the donations that are provided. So zakat is solely utilized for the treatment of patients, not for any other purpose at all. Donations and the money that we receive out of in lieu of our services. So that is something that we utilize to expand our services. So if I want to build a new hospital, that is where the money will come from. So zakat has its own importance. Donations in kind have their own importance.
So, because the hospital has also
I'm sorry I interrupted. Just to add a little bit more to the tree, 54% of our revenue is through zakat and donations. Out of that, 27% is zakat.
So in research-wise, do you have any coordination? Because in Pakistan, there are other institutions are also working on similar basis. So in research, so what progress your institution has made? Do you share some facts and figures or any extraordinary thing which you want to share with our viewers?
Okay, so we have an established research department. And in fact, again, going back to our mission statement, it is part of our mission statement that we will conduct research in the causes and treatment of cancer. And that is the department was established way back. So this department has basic science research as well as clinical research department. So we collaborate internally, we collaborate nationally, we collaborate internationally to perform and conduct research. I'll give you a very recent example. One of the vaccination trials, we were part of that vaccination international trial. So this is something that is pretty much ingrained in the hospital psyche, that we have to conduct research. We have conducted in basic science researches, we have conducted very meaningful research. And since research is not a single entity, science evolves over time and in collaboration with others. So I wouldn't say that we have come up with a novel treatment, but diagnostic-wise, we definitely have made headway when it comes to different diseases. And there is work in progress, and hopefully in future we'll have more and more results coming through.
In our region, especially in South Asia, what is the main causes of cancer? Because obviously different country has observed, and especially their medical research. So what is the main cause, especially in Pakistan?
It's very difficult to say that what is the main cause. There is no single cause. Cancer is again something that has multiple facets to it, multiple reasons lead these cancers. I'll give you an example. We have a high incidence of oral cancer. And one of the reasons why we have high incidence of oral cancer is because of betel and pan, gutka, chalia. So that is something that is well established. But it is very difficult to establish every and each cancer that what is the reason for that. For example, Pakistan has a very high incidence of breast cancer, but we still don't exactly know what is the reason behind it. And in fact, this is an area where Shaukat Khanum has done a lot of work. We have come up with certain gene sequences, but in order to prove that this is the reason why something has gone wrong, we still need a few more steps before we can reach there. Certain cancers, we have an idea, as I explained, oral cancers, but other cancers still open to debate and investigation.
Dr. Ahsun, you mentioned about some examples of the food people are using and it is causing cancer. But but in one thing which I want to share and ask your opinion, that how critical is clean drinking water? Because a lot of people, especially I will say more than 70% population in Pakistan and even in the world, people are deprived of the clean drinking water. So how critical is for good health this clean drinking water?
I think the importance of clean drinking water can never be overemphasized. I think this is extremely important. Whether this is unclean water is causing cancer, I think that would be a bit too outlandish a statement to give. But the importance of clean drinking water, because all these things lead to reduction in immunity ultimately. And what we know for sure is that if immunity is reduced, then cancer, there is a predisposition to cancer from in that regards. So yes, we definitely want clean drinking water across the board. Absolutely.
Because recently what I've noticed, the increase of kidney patients, especially in Pakistan and also in Gulf countries. So I think this could be the main cause, that this is the water, because water facilities are not as easier to find, especially where people are even very they have a struggle to find the clean drinking water as well.
So I think there can be no doubt about this, that importance of clean drinking water and how we lead our healthy lifestyles. Whether that that water is leading to a disease is something which is slightly difficult to prove scientifically. So whether that water is actually leading to kidney disease is not for me to say. I don't think I can comment on that. But this is definitely well-known scientific fact that clean drinking water is something that guides and leads to good health.
But Rasan, now you have entered into a very important phase of Shaukat Khanum Memorial Hospital and Research, the third hospital, which is comparatively a bigger size and bigger facilities. So could you please share with our viewers the upcoming project and especially its departments and budget and how people can participate and be part of it?
Okay, so I think that's again an extremely important question to ask. Thanks very much again. So I think the first thing to understand is that in a population that is close to 220 million, two hospitals, one in Lahore, one in Peshawar, they don't suffice. You cannot look after patients, especially Karachi city alone is close to 25 million people. So there is no way that one hospital in Lahore and one hospital in Peshawar can take care of all these patients. So that is the reason why Karachi Cancer Hospital is so important. So Shaukat Khanum Trust has started to build this. It is being built as we speak. It is a 7th floor facility. In fact, it is supposed to be one of the biggest hospital of the trust. It is a big hospital. The plan is quite ambitious. We plan to build, it is going to be 7 floors. We plan to build 288 inpatient beds, 16 operation theaters, 10 radiation linear accelerators, which is massive, can be compared to any huge hospital in the world internationally when it comes to radiation. 4 PET CTs, 3 MRs, 1 PET MR, 1 PET CT. So in terms of its magnitude, this is a fairly big hospital. And the reasons behind building such a big hospital, I've already explained that Karachi alone has a population of 25 million. How are we going to fund this now? So we are going to fund this on the basis of support that you're going to provide. That is fairly obvious. This can only be possible if people who believe in Shaukat Khanum, they continue to provide their support. And I would like to utilize this forum to appeal to everyone to contribute. Ramadan is approaching us. Ramadan campaign has already started, the Shaukat Khanum Ramadan campaign. So I would request everyone to participate in that wholeheartedly and donate as much as possible, as much as you can. so that we could go ahead with building this hospital.
That lesson, because a lot of young doctors are also watching us here in the UK, and especially all over the world. So what is your message? How people can join Shaukat Khanum team? Because sometimes people can join as ambassador, sometimes they can help to fundraising. So how they can join the team of this wonderful work?
So I think it goes without saying that you can join in any capacity that you have, in any form of the or other, whatever you're doing in whatever sort of field you are in, you're more than welcome to contribute. If you want to come and work in Shaukat Khanum, there are opportunities available. If you want to settle in come back to Pakistan, settle and work in Shaukat Khanum, again there are opportunities available. And as long as you are willing to contribute, there would definitely be opportunity for you to contribute. So just remember that bit. The important bit is how willing you are to, how far you want to go.
And especially the viewers who are watching this program today. So if they want to contribute, so they can go, can you please repeat the any link of the website or anything you want to refer?
So there are different ways. Thanks very much again for bringing this up. There are different ways and means how you can contribute. Imran Khan Cancer Appeal UK is a registered charity, and through that you can definitely contribute. You can contribute through their online system. If you go to their website, the information is available, but you can give, as far as I understand, you can give your check, you can donate online. There are different ways of doing it. It is a registered UK charity, and your contribution would, in that sense, be safe, and the whole thing is audited and publicly and out in the public when it comes to the audits and everything.
And that lesson, what is the target time for the Karachi project? So when it will be officially open for the patient?
So it would be inaugurated on 29th of December 2023. So the whole team is geared up. We are working towards it. At the moment, we are on target. So there's a commissioning committee. We meet fairly regularly just to make sure that everything is being planned and everything is in line for it to open on 29th of December 2023. That is what the plan is at the moment. And we will, inshallah, open on the same date.
Thank you very much. And at the end, what is your message for our viewers?
That's a difficult one. I think we all love Pakistan. In whatever capacity we are, there is no way we can disconnect ourselves from our homeland. And Shaukat Khanum Hospital was established to ensure that we provide quality of care to our patients who are suffering from cancer. That was the mission, that was the idea behind it. And we continue to do the same. We strive every day to ensure that we provide the best possible quality of care to our patients who are suffering from cancer, alleviate their miseries. And the message is that you can help us in any way, in any form you can. And we will ensure that from our end, we will ensure that we will do our best.
Dr. Ahsun, thank you very much for joining my show. And in future, we will invite you again once you have opened your upcoming project. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for inviting me. It was a pleasure talking to you. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.